Epstein thing was, I mean, I guess it's not exactly this, but you remember the like the pictures, the paintings that they found from him? There's one with George W. Bush when he's like a little kid and he's playing with the blocks that are in the towers.
Yeah.
And then there's like what is it, Bill Clinton in a dress or something like that? Like, it's not exactly Satanist shit, but it's still just kind of this weird, like,
well, the Clinton
what is
thing
this?
to me was like clear that like you have the president in a fucking dress, and we've talked about this. There's like a little fucking screenshot of me talking about it with Duncan. Where like that is to me, I got you. That's, I got you, bitch. Like,
and the George W. Bush one seems to be kind of like different, but a similar, like, this idiot has no idea what the fuck's going on.
Exactly. He's got a doofus looking look on his face.
But it's the planes in two towers, right? I mean, that seems to be like a 9/11 reference,
I mean, and if
right?
you were a guy who is supposedly, the conspiracy is that he was part of the intelligence agency, that he was something, Mossad or something.
Either Mossad or CIA or something.
Or a combination of those two. If you're that guy, you probably get like a real thrill out of having all this dirt on these incredibly important people, and then have like pictures of them looking stupid in your house.
Yeah. Well, you wonder, like, I don't know. There's just kind of room to speculate about it, but you wonder if there's probably a benefit to having very powerful people who you have dirt on them, right? So if you, let's say you take something like pedophilia, and that is a thing that, I don't know, maybe 99% of people want you dead if you are that. You know what I mean? Like, it's like the thing that even in prison, like, you will get like murdered for being that. Even amongst other violent criminals, there's this code that you don't do that. And most people who are not violent criminals really, you know what I mean? Like, so if you are, let's say, a pedophile, and you know that about someone, you own them now. And that's kind of what the Jeffrey Epstein thing seems to be like. Not even that they were pedophiles. I think in some cases they're tricked into it. Mm-hmm. You know, you get like 16-year-olds, you doll them up so they look like they're in their 20s. Right. You bring the guy to party with them.
Sure.
The next day you're like, oh, she was 16, I have it on tape, and you're going to be voting yes on the legislation next week type deal. But you could see where, let's say you were a very powerful interest behind the scenes, you could see where if there were people who say, were pedophiles or who like cheated on their wives or just you had dirt on them, where you'd be interested in promoting that person because now you can control them much more easily, right? Mm-hmm. And so that you could see where it would maybe come to be that they would kind of like these really sick, fucked up people in these positions of power because then they're that much easier to control.
100%. That makes sense. It makes sense. You got dirt on them.
Yeah.
You know, makes sense.
And there does seem to be like, I mean, this was so weird. I forget who tweeted this. I apologize, man, because I should give you credit because this is such a good tweet. But someone said, someone tweeted that Pizzagate aged better than Russiagate, which is just like the best. Like, it's just so funny when you think about it like that. That there was this wild conspiracy theory in 2016 that when the Podesta emails got dumped, that
this one.
Oh, was that Malice?
I mean, I don't know if he's the first one to tweet it, but
I don't know.
It's probably him.
Yeah,
right. I bet it's him.
Credit to the king,
that
Michael
sounds
Malice.
Like something Malice would say.
Malice is the goddamn
But look
man.
how nutty this is. Ex-network investigative journalist pleads guilty to child sex abuse material charges. So this is a guy that was an investigative journalist at ABC News who investigated and dismissed Pizzagate. And meanwhile, he was guilty of child sexual abuse material charges. So he had child porn. Now, here's the question. Has there ever been a case where someone has purposely put child porn on someone's computer to bust them?
I'm sure there has.
I would imagine that that's something they can do.
That's terrifying.
Wasn't there like a woman who accused the FBI of threatening to put child porn on someone's computer? There was like a recent case of that. That is so terrifying.
That's really terrifying.
That someone would be in possession of child porn and then put it on
your computer,
shit.
and then you're just there, like, and you're like, yo,
and
no,
you have
this
to
is not.
explain it away.
Oh, you're in the position of being like, I swear, it's on my computer, but I don't know how I got there.
Especially if you're someone who is investigating child porn. I'm not saying that's the case.
Yeah.
He very well might be guilty of it, and there are people that are guilty of it. Man, it's a fucking heinous thing that does exist. As much as like you and I, as regular people, especially as parents, we don't want to ever admit there's someone out there that literally wants to fuck a baby, and wants to film people fucking babies and have guys jack off to it. It's like wild.
Yeah, that's some dark shit.
Well, it's the only thing that you can possess that's illegal that you could find online, right? Like you could have murder videos. Like every fucking day I open up Instagram, I'm seeing someone get shot.
Yeah.
You see a lot of murder videos on Instagram, and I don't know how they do that and how they fucking get away with doing that, because it seems to be in violation of the terms of agreements of Instagram.
Yeah,
terms and services, like,
so.
Seems like you're not supposed to have murder videos.
Yeah, I don't think you can do murder. Yeah.
But goddamn, I've seen a lot of them. And if I download these videos and put them on my hard drive, and someone arrests me and they search my hard drive, say, oh, well, you have videos of people murdered, that's fine.
You'd be like, no.
Even though it's a crime.
You go, it's nothing, officer. I just masturbate to it.
Yeah,
they go, no problem, sir.
Yeah,
you're free to go.
I like,
like
shotguns to the face. That's how I get off.
Yeah, like they'd be like, no problem with that.
Right. But if you are in possession, even if you haven't done anything physically to these kids, if you're
Twitter's
in possession
policy
of that stuff,
on death videos, and it clearly is breaking all of those.
Yeah.
Well,
images or videos depict the murder of an unidentifiable individual. What if they're unidentified? What if they have a bag over their head and you shoot them? Images or videos where a reasonably intelligent and identifiable person is clearly deceased. Excessively gruesome media that depicts the death of an it's all identifiable person. Images or videos of an identifiable deceased person shared for sadistic purposes. That's interesting.
That's vague.
Yeah, including media accompanied by content that laughs at or otherwise mocks the deceased and takes pleasure in the suffering of the deceased.
That's so bizarre. So it's just that just seems like such a why don't you just say like no murder videos?
The loophole could be newsworthy event.
Yes, newsworthy events.
Okay, fine.
Right, like the death of George Floyd. Like that's a newsworthy event of murder. Right?
Fair enough, but they're like, why is it like? Well, they're kind of almost by like implicitly saying like they're like, I mean, if you can't identify them, and if you can't identify them and you're not laughing at them, have at it. I'd understand that though. I mean, I think there are deaths like like Saddam Hussein or Gaddafi or like things like that you should be allowed to
the Gaddafi
see.
One's wild.
It is something.
One of the wilds. When you see the look on his face, when that guy shoves that knife up his ass, you're like, whoa.